Believe it or not, in this market, there are actually some undervalued booster boxes around. And there's also some very overpriced booster boxes around. That's what this video is all about. This is part 2 of a 2-part video segment. Please go back and watch my previous video, which is part 1. What I did in part 1 was explain how we know what our booster boxes will be worth in the future. To a rough degree, but somewhat accurate, fairly accurate, I should say. Now, using that information, we're now going to transfer that over and see, well, based on that, what current, somewhat modern booster boxes are actually A, undervalued, and B, some of which are overpriced. Now, to talk you through the data that I did on the last video briefly, but again, please go watch it. It's more in-depth. You'll be able to get a better take on this video if you watch the last video. But essentially what I talked about is a couple of things. Total set value and time. And when we talk about time, it's time out of competitive rotation. So time out of any sort of reprint window. And what we found is a couple of things. There's a massive correlation between booster box price and total set value. The higher the total set value, the higher the booster box price. It's as simple as that. Now, where time comes into play is when a set is roughly 1 to 2 years out of rotation, so something like Evolving Skies, it should have a booster box price of about half its total set value. Now, this rings true to sets like Brilliant Stars, this rings true to sets like Fusion Strike, the same sets that went out of rotation the same time as Evolving Skies. Now, as we get a little bit older, so we go back to Sun and Moon era and we're looking at booster boxes that have been out of rotation for 5 years, they start to get on parity with total set value. So total set value and booster box price is pretty much on par with each other. Then when we get even older, like we're talking 8 to 10 years out of rotation, so some XY booster boxes, we start seeing the booster boxes be worth about double what the total set value is. So again, the higher the total set value, the higher the booster box price is going to be. And we even gave examples all the way back to Black and White era, so we're talking like 11, 12 years out of rotation. Generally speaking, they were like 3 to 4 times the booster box price. The total set value. So total set value has a clear indicator on booster box price. So with that information in mind, let's take a look at what booster boxes are actually overpriced first before we get into some of the bargains that are on the market. Now, I've got 3 examples here, and the first one might surprise you a little bit. In fact, maybe all of them might surprise you a little bit. And this isn't an opinion. I'm not just going, this is overpriced. This is more based off data. So this is clearly saying that total set value and booster box price across history of Pokemon card sets, the correlation is clear. And if we look at, in my opinion, one of the most overpriced modern booster boxes, it is Obsidian Flames. Now, to talk you through it, you might shoot me down in flames for having this opinion, but again, it's not really an opinion. I'm just going off the numbers. I actually quite like the booster box artwork, and I actually quite like the set. Could it do with more hits? Could it do with harder chase cards? It could do with lots of things, but I'm not ragging on the set. It's nothing wrong. This is purely numbers based. Set value for Obsidian Flames is super low. In fact, it's the lowest out of the whole Scarlet and Violet era, sitting at $340 total set value. The booster box price though is $295 US. So the booster box price is extremely close, nearly on parity with the total set value. And based on my previous video, where do we normally see that? We normally see that parity after about 5 years out of rotation. And this booster box isn't even out of rotation yet. My thoughts, and this is probably more opinion than fact, my thoughts on this booster box is that this will sit around that $300 to maybe $400 US mark for quite some time. Why? Because of that very reason. It's already pretty much reached its total set value, and it's done so early, and it's done it because it's in an era where Pokemon booster boxes are so damn expensive. We're in a massive hype era. I've seen this before. Rewind all the way back to Darkness Ablaze and Vivid Voltage. Those sets weren't good sets, but they came out at a time when there's so much hype, stock was low, supply was low, demand was high. People were trying to get any booster box they could get, and it drove the prices of those up massively. And what happened? Anyone that bought at that stage, including myself, had to probably sit on them for 5 years before they saw any sort of appreciation. And again, it rings so true to that message that I was saying before in the previous video, that as time goes by, yes, a booster box price can surpass its total set value, but it takes time. Like we're talking 5+ years, 8 years in some cases if we look at those XY booster boxes. So for Obsidian Flames at $340 total set value to already have its booster box nudging $300, in my opinion, based on the data, it is way overpriced. Second one I wanted to talk to you about, and this is only marginally overpriced, but I do think it's a touch overpriced just based on the numbers. Silver Tempest. Total set value is $1,014. And again, not ragging on the set at all. I love Silver Tempest. I've pulled the Rayquaza from the Trainer Gallery out of there. The Lugia, no one is denying how beautiful that Lugia card is. So again, not ragging on the set, but its set value is $1,014 and its booster box price is already north of $550 US. The set hasn't even been out of rotation for a year yet. And as a result, what can we say? We shouldn't normally see that. We shouldn't normally see the booster box price be worth over half the total set value that early. And maybe it's because the same thing, we're seeing this massive rise in all booster box prices. And it's like, why would you spend $300 on why would you spend $300 on Scarlet and Violet box if you can buy a Sword and Shield box for $300? So therefore the Sword and Shield boxes all pump up pretty hard. The third one I wanted to talk to you about would be Rebel Clash. And here's another great example of something that rose in price quite quickly because it was short printed and has really stabilized at the one price for a long time. Why? Because of the total set value. And what does total set value rely upon heavily? It's the chase cards inside the set. Rebel Clash has really poor chase cards. If you look at total set value, it's $479 and the booster box price is bang on parity at $478. They are 1-to-1. We normally see that, like I said, when a booster box has been out of rotation for 5+ years. Rebel Clash is nowhere near to being out of rotation for 5+ years. So as a result, it somewhat seems a bit expensive. So the point I'm trying to make here is when you're looking for an investment, and I'm about to go into the bargains on the market, you want to look at something based on its time frame, its relationship between booster box price and total set value. Because eventually the data says it just washes out, like they catch up and then they overtake. And no matter what the price, like I even did Steam Siege from XY era. And like I wasn't cherry picking data or numbers, I was picking random sets and everything was so close to what I was talking about in the previous video, it's not funny. Before we jump into the bargains though, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, which is of course the Collector app. There'll be a link in the description to download it. If you don't have it, please grab it. It's such a good app. You can add all your singles and sealed product inside there. You can follow my journey down in the content creators section. There's so many cool features to this now. You can look at trades. One of the most common questions I always see is this a fair trade, this for this? You can just punch it into the Collector app and it'll tell you if it's a fair trade. Set analytics, exactly what I'm talking about here with total set value. You can go to any English or Japanese Pokemon card set, go into the set, type in set analytics, bang, you can see total set value across time. And if you're a pro user, you can see even more data. You can go back way in time. So another thing, urge everyone to sign up as a pro user to be able to grab that more handy data. Right, bargains. There are, believe it or not, some bargains on the market. And I'm going to start with, and I know this gets a lot of love and it should have even more love, but Chilling Reign. Total set value is $1,628 and booster box price is $488. What we should see at this place in time with a set like Chilling Reign, based on its time out of competitive rotation, is booster box price should be worth roughly half of the total set value. And what we can see is it's only worth a third of the total set value. As a result, in my opinion, that booster box is still a bargain. If you can get it for sub $500 US, it's going to catch up eventually. I'm telling you. And you might think, oh no, it won't. Like it's one of those mid-tier Sword and Shield sets. You know, it's not as special as Evolving Skies. It's not as special as even Brilliant Stars. It's not as special as Lost Origin. But a lot of those mid-tier sets, they will eventually catch up. People were saying the exact same thing about Lost Thunder and Celestial Storm from Sun and Moon era. Oh, it's one of those mid-tier sets. Didn't really kick off until the end, until we saw those tag team sets. You know, they're not going to look at them now. Look at a Celestial Storm booster box now. Look at a Lost Thunder booster box now. Going for massive dollars. And same thing, the box price has equaled or exceeded the total set value. So Chilling Reign at $488 booster box versus $1,628 total set value. it's just not right. It needs to catch up. The booster box price, in my opinion, it should be a $750 booster box based on the numbers we're seeing here, and eventually it will catch up. Another one that I think is a touch undervalued, and look, this is hard to say because it hasn't gone out of rotation yet. It's about to go out of rotation. That's Paldea Evolved. Total set value $1,200. We've got the beautiful Magikarp to chase inside there, plus a heap of other awesome illustration rares. Box price $404 US. So it's about a third of that price. Now keep in mind, that's probably where it should be at this stage. It's about to hop out of rotation based on the numbers, but $1,200 total set value. It's the second highest total set value booster box out of the whole Scarlet and Violet era. So eventually we will see, once it gets to that 18-month to 2-year mark out of rotation, the box price should be half of the total set value. So in my opinion, the $400 booster box will probably climb to $600 in the next 18 months to 2 years, making it a touch undervalued at this moment. Another one a touch undervalued, and look, I get it, this one isn't out of rotation at all, but just talking through box price and total set value, Twilight Masquerade has a total set value nudging $1,000, and the booster box price is still around $300 US. So you're about a third of the total set value. Eventually that will catch up. Will Twilight Masquerade ever be reprinted again? Look, it still is in the reprint window, but it's looking unlikely considering we can't even get the Ascended Heroes that we need on the market at the moment. And finally, one other bargain that I think, and don't hang, draw, and quarter me for this one, this set I think will pick up a little bit of love as it goes along. That's Battle Styles. It is, you rank total set values for all booster boxes across Sword and Shield era, and it sounds like Battle Styles should be last. Because, you know, it got slammed, it copped so many strays across the era of Sword and Shield, even going into Scarlet and Violet, but the fact is it shouldn't, okay? It has a higher total set value than base set, it has a higher total set value than Rebel Clash, it has a higher total set value than Vivid Voltage, and it has a higher total set value than Darkness Ablaze. Like, it's $702 total set value. The two Urshifus that we see in there are so-so. The Empoleon is a beautiful card. Like that's one of the nicest alt arts I think we saw across the whole Sword and Shield era. Moreover than that, we've also got Tyranitar, the Sleeping Tyranitar, which is a beautiful alt art card as well. Look, I'm not saying this is a fantastic set. What I'm saying is the data says that a $250 booster box price versus $702 total set value, its box price is about a third, so similar to Chilling Reign, its box price is about a third of the price of the total set value, where it should be sitting at about half. It should, at this stage, be about a $350 US booster box, and it's not. And I can guarantee you it's going to catch up. So if you can buy Battle Styles at $250, even at $300 US, I think it's a reasonable price. $702 total set value with some sneakier, better cards in there than what people give it credit for. Well, there you go. Again, please go back and watch the first video because this was part 2. This video will make a lot more sense to you if you've watched part 1. There are some overpriced boxes on the market, and there are, of course, some bargains on the market. I'm Michael, this is PokeOz. Catch everyone next time.